Hi. Welcome to Fine Tooth Combs, the podcast nobody listens to. My name is Jamie. My voice sounds like this.
My name is Shandy. My voice sounds like this.
My name is Bunny. My voice sounds like this.
My name is Jake. My voice sounds like this.
My name's Janine. My voice sounds like this.
Tonight we have a two-parter. We have 1988's Cellar Dwellers, followed by part of the Pulse Pounders anthology called The Evil Clergyman.
Not porn.
Not porn.
That was just what I was.
So we just watched Cellar Dwellers.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about it. We'll take a break, watch The Evil Clergyman, and then come back. So before we start on Cellar Dwellers, do we have any minutes from the previous movie, which was Dead Man Walking with Wings Hauser?
Did we need to even talk about it for an hour last time? I didn't actually.
No, you didn't. You introduced yourself and then walked away to care of the children. Yeah.
I think we did our best to withdraw that from the memory bank. It was just taking up random space.
I don't even remember it.
I had to delete it. It went to trash.
I don't remember it, but I wasn't here.
It's gone.
So basically, you're at the same level.
Yeah.
That's how great it was.
We didn't gain
There was
anything.
lots of blue stuff.
So
There was
yeah,
lots
a lot of blue.
yeah, there was a lot. Oh yeah, the shelf. I forgot about
The gloves.
Blue shelf everywhere.
This
Matt
is
is
what you take
missing,
away.
but he bid me to say hello from Korea.
Hello from not Korea? Canada?
We live in,
Did you forget?
I don't know what happened there.
where did we move to?
Sorry. What?
Before we go into the... Sorry, go ahead. Oh,
Nothing.
I don't care where we live.
It's not, we live in Surrey and we're proud of it.
I thought
okay?
we were trying to keep secrets on, like, we don't want some weird person who can pinpoint us.
We live in Surrey.
Yeah, nobody's listening.
There are the weird people. They have try to pinpoint us.
It has to listen first.
So before we start on this movie as well, we don't have any previous minutes. What was the recipe that you made today?
Today I made banana poke cake. My inspiration for this really, at this point, one, is getting through all the sugar that the internet has to offer. But there's bananas, and I was like, bananas. Because then I was thinking about Jeffrey Combs' junk. And then I'm really hoping that at some point we get to see him naked. And I know we probably won't.
I don't think you ever see Jeffrey's ball.
But we see so many ladies naked. And, you know...
mostly Barbara.
Mostly Barbara.
There was a statue penis
Yeah, no,
Was there?
I want
when they were cleaning the cleaning
Combs.
scene.
But it's not him.
She wants
I
our
feel like I
Jeffrey.
would understand him better if I could see his bum. He's super handsome.
Yeah.
Wait, we do see his bum in a future movie.
What?
we?
Which one?
I'm pretty sure. In what's that one?
Frighteners?
Yeah.
No, we
Don't
see his
you?
chest and everything.
Oh, I thought he
Yeah.
was.
He's got a lovely chest.
He's like cut
I
off
want
his
to touch
nipples.
it.
We're getting ahead of ourselves.
We are, yeah.
So you made like a cake base, right?
It's called banana poke. Get it?
And then you
Get
poked holes all through the cake.
Yeah, so you bake a cake. It's totally like Betty Crocker 1950s, or like Women's World Weekly. Like, here's a recipe, but it's really just 4 packages that you assemble. So you bake a box cake, you poke holes in it, you put in some instant pudding, and it falls down into the little holes, and then you put some whipped cream on top. In this case, I didn't use Cool Whip. I used coconut milk whipping cream that I made, and then you sprinkle some graham crackers or vanilla wafers on top.
Super healthy.
Not super healthy, but
So
that's
delicious.
okay. So delicious. And you can make any sort of poke cake, right? Like you
Yeah.
can make a chocolate cake and then put chocolate pudding.
Did you say you put graham on top?
I put graham on top. Yeah.
It's healthy for the soul.
It is really
Yeah.
good for the soul.
Yeah.
We
It
have
It's
this-
an important
And it
thing
was
to
light.
nourish.
It was light. It wasn't. I mean, compared to some of the desserts we've made,
Dear Jesus.
it was not as sweet.
The gooey butter cake.
The gooey butter cake, yeah. So you weren't there for that. The cinnamon crunch cake, that was
Probably a good thing.
that was for Cyclone. We did that one.
I had a stomach ache for like the rest of the evening.
Yeah. I was
Yeah,
seeing
it was
into
really
the
good.
future. It was good.
I'm going to have some after. So I guess we might as well move on to the Combs over with Jake. So we're starting in a basement scene, right? 30 years.
30 years ago, it was in 88, so we figure 58.
Yeah.
That's 30 years by my math.
Yeah. Good math.
So who knows?
Yeah, and yeah, it's Combs sitting in this cellar drawing his comic, which they don't really dive into it at the beginning, but apparently it's quite popular. This comic is called Cellar Dweller. He even has a painting of Cellar Dweller taking up an entire wall in his cellar.
It looks like the old EC Comics Tales from the Crypt layout, with the banner and everything like that. Obviously ripping off or paying homage to that. But he's sitting there drawing, I'm assuming, the latest issue.
Yeah, he is. He's drawing the right assumptions, but that's what he's drawing, and it just really dives in quick. It's like instantly he's on this one cell where he's drawing the Cellar Dweller, who's this big troll-looking beast with a pentagram on his chest.
Yeah, he's this big,
and he's gripping a scantily clad woman, and about to eat her or terrorize her or something, and then it just appears behind him.
Oh no, you're skipping over something because not only is he drawing comics, but he has something else there for inspiration as well, too. Remember, he's got the Necronomicon.
Oh, right.
Basically, he's got the book with all the pentagrams. This is basically Evil Dead.
Yeah,
where
they have a lot of the same scenes.
Art
They rush
School
to the
Confidential,
door.
Yeah.
Evil Dead.
Yeah, he's doing that scene. He's doing that thing where he's reading something for the first time. He's reading it out loud.
Yeah.
He's copying runes onto his comic
Drawings.
book, and then we see, I think, as you mentioned, the camera as the evil thing, like rushing up to the door, and just all of a sudden, the demon appears.
With the woman. He's like
that's
terrorizing the
right.
woman right behind him. And he turns around, sees it, freaks out, and runs, locks the door on his way out. I'm sorry, like running, I get that. That's like a very common, like, oh my God.
Jake was very upset by the
that's
fact
like,
that
You locked this
abandoned
woman
Okay.
into the... You eliminated her chance for escape.
It's the
appeared
spider.
out of nowhere.
It's the spider analogy. You look down. There's a spider on you. You don't flick it away. You just
you
run
do
to
if
the
you're
opposite.
reasonable.
Right, and
Yeah,
there's
but
nothing
that's
wrong
okay.
with running
Okay,
from the
my
scene.
point is, though, is that if that's the reaction that a lot of people, myself included, have to a spider, where you just flail all your limbs, run to the opposite side of the house, and then burn it down, and that's just for a spider. Now, what is your
No.
logical...
I get the fact that
You
he
just
ran.
keep going.
I feel
I
like you
get
have
the
a lot
fact
of
that he
empathy for
ditched
this woman.
That's fine. He didn't have the look of a hero, so it's like, okay, you ran. That's fine.
You know,
he stopped
To be fair, if
to
a,
lock her in, and then continued running.
if a monster and a woman appear at the same time, might you think that the woman might also be dangerous?
Yeah, that's his phobia. Monsters
It
and women
is
that
all
appear out
weird.
of thin air.
It is.
That's like Bunny and spiders. He just freaks out.
But he does try to redeem himself because he then goes for an axe. He finds an axe. He's like, I gotta go back. He can still hear the woman
I
screaming
mean,
in the
or
room.
maybe he's a misogynist. I mean, he
Maybe.
does draw women getting eaten by monsters.
He's
for a
not.
living.
He's not in the movie long enough for us to judge on
Oh,
that fact.
shit, right.
Oh, spoiler alert.
Yeah, well,
It
it's
was
coming
made
right
in
up.
1988.
He goes back into the room
Yeah.
with his axe, finds the woman laying there, presumably dead, in a
little body
very
parts.
in a very erotic position. It's like, this is how I died. And
Erotic death.
so yeah, he checks her, and then he realizes, oh, the beast or the cellar dweller is still here. So he goes to find him. Goes up against him. I don't think he did too well. The axe really was ineffective, and he decides, like, I think it's a split-second decision. He decides, oh, I'm going to just kill this drawing. Or was it an accident that he set it on fire in the
It was
beginning?
an accident.
I do remember he balls it up like he's gonna use
Yeah,
it
that's
for a
right. No,
torch
it
to
was
keep
on
him away.
purpose. He balls it up and then he starts burning, and so of course the cellar dweller starts on
Yeah,
fire.
he's not actually called the Cellar Dweller. That's his comic.
That's
But
his comic.
I do like that though. If you keep calling him the Cellar Dweller,
Well, it seems like it.
it's fun to
But
say.
he is.
So then,
Well,
what he does with this burning wad of paper is, I guess he just drops it.
No, I'll tell you exactly what happens because I laughed my ass off. So he's sitting there. He sees that the Cellar Dweller, the demon is on
Dies.
fire, going. "Brrr." It's pretty awesome. And he sits down and his arm slightly drops and lights a bunch of
Other drawings.
paint thinner and other drawings
Because
on
he's
fire.
in his art studio.
Yeah, exactly. So the entire basement goes up in flames.
Very quickly.
He
I mean,
doesn't-
like, this place was
He
like...
doesn't try to escape because there is
clearly
a
not up to
window.
fire codes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's awesome. And Bunny, how did he die again when he's in the fire? He totally got the arms.
Oh,
up.
there's arms above the flames, like the Muppet arms.
Yeah, the
What
arms.
happened to
Frog.
stop, drop, and roll?
Or
Yeah, no.
leave the room.
And
This fire is
All
getting out of
right,
control.
if you're gonna judge him for running out of a room when a monster appears, you certainly can't judge him for flailing when fire is like
What
all
if I'm
around
going to
him.
judge him for all of it?
Well, then you're a bitch.
Fair enough.
So yeah, Jeffrey dies. Bye-bye.
Yeah. So then we get the opening credits.
Then
Yeah,
we're left
opening
with the
credits,
rest
and we
of the
jump
movie.
30 years, so present day, 88, and a woman is driving.
Yeah. Before we go on to that, there's a lot of drawings initially we see. And what are the drawings? The drawings are pretty good for this
Yeah,
movie,
the
right, Shandy?
Jeffrey Coombs ones are pretty awesome.
Uh-huh.
And
Yeah.
then... Oh...
She didn't have that rule. Yeah.
Whatever.
It's not the
No,
movie.
he
But
just...
you're
That's
right. The
Not
style
the
of the
rule.
drawings, it looks really good, lots of detail, but they don't seem like they're by the same person.
No! There's also a couple times where the girl, as she's drawing, it's like in real time, and she'll be drawing, and then it comes back 2 seconds later, and she's
completed.
magically inked the entire thing with clearly different
Yeah.
There's also a
pens
couple
and
of times where she's drawing and it looks terrible, and then we
it's-
come back and it
Yeah, and
looks
then it's
perfectly
perfect.
It
good.
looks gorgeous, yeah.
Yeah.
That was great. But the art is pretty good. So then, as you said, Jake, we're 30 years in the future.
Yeah.
And it's our main character. I don't remember her name. What was her name?
Wendy, maybe?
Was it
Lady person.
Whitney Taylor.
You don't hear that name often.
Okay, so yeah, she's driving up to the house. When she gets to the door, we realize it's a... What's the name?
It's like an art institute or something.
But it's an odd name. Starts with an H. Whatever.
Yeah, Farnsworth, Hornswallow.
Thorns.
It's like Holcomb or something.
Thornsburg.
Twinkle.
It's a combination of all of those. And it's an art institute. She gets up. She goes in. She meets the old lady. I don't know. That old.
But who is this woman? We found out after we looked it up. But the old woman in this movie is Yvonne DiCarlo, who played the mom in the Munsters, the OG Munsters from the 50s.
The OG monsters.
Yeah.
And she's from Vancouver.
Yes, she was
So
born
she's
in
right
Vancouver
here.
and everything like that.
Great.
Yeah. Unfortunately, she died in 2007.
So right
So
away
she'll never hear this.
We lost her.
podcast.
they have a conversation. She goes in, and this is where the expose happens of we understand that this main character is a fan of Mr. Combs' character.
Yeah, his name is Colin Childress.
Colin Childress. And she's following his inspirational footsteps. So she comes to the place that he did a lot of his work, which is now an art institute. And she's they don't explain anything more than that other than the mistress of the house hates comics.
Yeah, she shows her work, which
She
is
doesn't think
basically
it's art.
Yeah, to extend the Cellar Dweller comic and keep it going. She's like,
It's
this,
stupid,
This
yeah.
isn't art. This is comics. And Jake's like, it's graphic novels.
So, what I don't understand is why this art school accepted her then, if everyone thinks her art is an art.
I don't.
And also, isn't
Tuition?
that the house or that at
Yes.
the very beginning that
It is the
Coombs
house.
was running to or something? Or
Well, that's
the
where he
house that
lived.
No, it is
That's
his
where he
house.
lived.
It's his house.
So then, but
And how did it turn into an
Mind-blown.
art institute that doesn't even like
That
his
hates
work?
him, yeah.
It's like, it's weird, but
It is
okay.
weird. So
It's
we
a
find
thin
out
premise.
They don't respect her work
At all.
And we find out right away. She points out a nice black door. What's behind that black door, Jake?
It's the cellar. Do not go down there
That's
at
what-
all.
And then immediately
But
we
it's
have a
not locked.
cutscene to her going and opening the door without any of her baggage, and she walks down it and sees this horror LSD thing where
she
like
psychs out and
Yeah.
sees images of the
Like-
death of a girl.
the girl from the comic,
Yeah,
from
yeah.
the beginning of the movie, and the Cellar Dweller,
But that comic
and then it turns out it was just
got
her
burned up.
imagining it, which is like
Yeah, so we thought, okay, so they tell her not to go through a door.
And
The
she
first thing-
immediately
the
does
first
it.
thing she does, but actually that was just a freak out.
yeah.
Well, she's a little
she was
bit
just
weird.
kind of like clearly like excited about it, She's like imagining like going
she's
down
a
there.
bit
and
of a
find-
psycho.
She's
Like,
a bit of a nut, yeah.
Yeah.
So they don't respect her, but they accept her anyways, and she shows her around to the rest of the artists.
Yeah.
Which is like basically, I don't know if you can be racist when you depict certain types of artists, but they're stereotypes, you know what I mean? It's just, you've got the video artist, who she knew in a previous life used to torture her in their other school. You got the old man who is basically
perv.
Yeah, perv, or like he is.
He's trying to be like a detective
He's a
writer.
good detective. He
Yeah.
sits at a typewriter. He smokes a cigar and he drinks Jack Daniels.
And he does scenes.
He does scenes.
And he follows people around and takes bullet points of anything they're talking about, and he's just
We've got the dancer who does
Yeah.
the interpretive dancing, which we'll get to in a bit, and then we have the face,
Mouth man.
mouth man, Philip, who does
angst.
art is all about opinion, and certain things are for others. He does the worst art I've ever seen.
It looks like
He does
poop
finger
smears of
paint.
a little
He does
kid.
children finger painting.
Now, what are they called? What are the names of them, Jake?
I don't know. He just right at the beginning.
Just
He
angst.
wouldn't. This actually is what happens next. She goes to her room after her little hallucination.
Right.
And he comes
A little
in.
hallucination.
And he shows her, look, I got this art, and she's like, "What the hell is this?" And it's angst.
Yeah.
That was his description of
She
his
says,
finger
"Aren't you a
painting."
little young to feel these feelings or something like that?" She's like, "Oh, yeah." She's
It
like,
was
She's never met a teenager.
So then he basically says you have to come to this little thing we do where we all hang our art and critique each other for an hour or so, and it's
Wait,
something-
she's in art school and it's like a voluntary thing to go to a critique?
It seems
You
more like a
totally have
social
to
house
come
for
to
artists.
this.
Yeah. I don't.
It doesn't really seem like a school.
maybe it's
They-
a commune.
Yeah,
They just don't want to
weird
say
like
art
that, so-
commune.
Okay,
We
he
didn't see the
convinces
sex
her.
dungeon.
Fair.
The mouth convinces her to go,
Yeah, the face.
and they go to this. They're all hanging, and all the pictures look the same. They all look like finger paintings.
Yeah.
Done
There's
on
a
the
three-boob
wall. And
woman.
there's a
I like
three-boob.
butcher paper.
Oh yeah. I don't know what is it about the one with the 3 breasts. That one really
Yeah.
spoke to
You
me.
know, I think it would have been
all
really
of us.
fun to be a prop maker for this film. They would have been like, make some artsy shit. And
Yeah. Oh my God. We'll get to the other shit later with the dance.
Oh,
But,
yeah.
So we're in
That
this
dance
scene.
was amazing.
Yeah, we're at the
foreshadowing
gallery
here, guys.
where they all look at each other's art, and this is where we kind of meet all of the characters that are in the house now. We got Mouth, or Face. Face Mouth.
Mouse face.
Face mouth. Mouth face.
We got obviously our main character. We have the mistress of the house, the elder lady, and
Video lady.
video lady. Yeah, she's video lady is like
And then
it's like the
she's
main
such a douche.
antagonist.
And
Really,
then Grizzle Detective.
Grizzle Detective didn't come in till after he did his scene.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
came in and he does a
gun.
scene where he holds
So
it.
and then there was Ditzy Dance Lady, the girl
Yeah.
that just really
Blonde
didn't
Barbie
seem
doll.
to. I think she made the 3 boob picture. I'm not sure.
I don't know.
If I had to pin it on one of them, I'd say she did it.
I just remember her boobs are always showing. Like, she's
They
always
are.
wearing things with, like, her boobs hanging out the side.
She's very proud.
She's
She has
really
Game
beside
of
boob.
Thrones boobs.
Very
That's why.
Game of Thrones.
So they're all standing around talking trash, or like, well, it speaks to me, kind of lingo
Yeah.
about all these finger paintings.
And then Detective Dude
And then
comes
the
in.
detective dude comes in with, this is the first we've seen him, so we kind of, as a viewer, we think maybe the place is getting robbed.
Yeah, he
for
probably got-
what? Like, I don't know what he expects to take.
And then in the
Take
most
5 back
forced
home.
dialogue ever, you're bluffing,
Yeah.
the main lady
But
calls.
he shoots a vase, like destroys something in the
I
house
think it
with
was
the one
actually a
bullet.
horse. But anyway.
So yeah, the main girl steps to his face, so she's got some balls.
Yeah, but
And she calls his bluff.
it's
and
the
says,
worst
what's the-
delivery.
what's the
Did anyone
plot?
else think that was like the worst
This is
delivery?
357
You're
Magnum,
bluffing.
and you
It's
shot
a
one bullet,
cult.
it's empty, you have no more, and he's like, and then he's just like,
Give that woman a
thanks for my
cigar.
scene, and everybody else was in on it. They all,
Everybody applauds.
yeah, they all
Yeah.
applaud him. Oh, it's amazing! I was so scared.
Yeah, basically anything that you could think of that would make you sort of roll your eyes and hate an art.
There it is.
That's
It was in that scene.
Right.
Now what I'm wondering is if the person that wrote this is actually like a comic book artist who
Oh.
went to art school and is totally disgruntled.
Oh,
and
yeah,
this is
bro.
like their backhanded.
You
You know what? I actually really like that analysis.
Yeah, so,
Yeah,
So,
Like,
well, right after that, we're now introduced
you.
like
punk rock
this is what I
movie.
think of your art school.
the camera lady now butts heads with our main character, and they're both very like
This
they're
is
both
where we find.
opinionated.
This is where we find out that she's
They hate each other right
shittier
away.
in school.
Yeah.
Yeah, Amanda is her name.
Amanda,
She-
she's
She,
I hate
she
your
belittles,
art.
she belittles her outfit.
Yeah,
she
they
like,
just-
it's just
They
really
catfight
petty.
a little bit.
It's
for-
really
it's
petty.
it's pretty hot. Is that what we're getting at? Yeah.
So right away they established that those two characters are not friends. There's bad times to be had by all. And what does it move from there? I know she
So
gets.
she decides that she was going to put her up into a room, like Yvonne DiCarlo, the headmistress or what
Yeah.
have you. But she's like, I'll tell you what, you don't really want me here anyways, so I'll clean up the basement and take up that space downstairs. It'll be cleaned up, and then you don't have to worry about me taking up a room upstairs. And she begrudgingly says yes. So there's
Didn't
a...
that happen much later?
I don't remember.
That happened much later.
Okay, hold on. No,
Yes.
there was this scene. No, there was one scene in between that where the other girl, the dance girl, that's kind of ditzy and just seems to be everybody's friend anyway. She goes out and gets drunk with her, unwinds. She's like, "Don't worry
Oh,
about
you're
those.
right.
Don't worry about the mistress. Don't worry about Amanda. They don't know who cares about them. Just leave it alone." She's all drunk and whatever. Goes to the room. That's when she goes downstairs.
Yeah,
right
so
after
after
that,
everyone's
she
gone
goes
to bed,
down the
she goes
basement.
to yeah.
right.
And then she like she goes down with mouth face and
Yeah.
they
No, he crept down below. She's like, she finally gets the light on.
Yeah.
And she's looking at something on the wall intensely. All of a sudden, we have a scare. Oh, it's just Mouth. And he's like, "What are you doing down here?" "I'm stalking you," or something. He
Yeah.
straight up tells her, "I'm following you."
Yeah, is his penis
Yeah.
out?
No.
No,
Okay.
not yet.
Just
But his
not-
mouth is in full view.
No banana poke.
It would be less shocking if his mouth was covered and his penis was out.
I think that would have been less shocking.
Yeah.
I
So
was really
then
surprised by
they
that now.
decide, they look around and they're like, "Oh, look at this, blah, blah, blah." And they have
Well,
a
she
little...
just goes straight to the chest.
Okay,
and
yeah.
lets it
So
open.
this is
Yeah, that's right.
This is a room.
Breaks it
apparently
open.
There's a
Yeah.
huge fire which didn't destroy the
Anything.
rest. Yeah. But
Is that
what
mine or
it,
yours?
what it destroyed was the everything. There's no fire damage. There's nothing, and the chest is right there. So it's her first time really down here, and she goes straight to the chest.
And bashes the lock open.
Mm-hmm.
This is a locked chest in a school that I am now enrolled in. I think I'm just
fair,
gonna
it's a
smash it open.
I love
So
you fucking
she's-
holster this.
She smashes it open and opens it up. Of course, the Necronomicon is in there. She pulls it out. Mouth is all, "What are you doing?" And
Yeah,
she's like,
there's
"I'm gonna
some-
read these words out loud."
Are there some of our man Jeffrey's drawings in there too?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's some drawings in the chest. There's like basically it's a full setup for continue this evil work.
basically his last work, and she's like, "Wow, this
Well, and
is
she reads
amazing."
it out loud, and it's like, you
Yes.
know, and then the monster will appear and he's like, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
So
She decides she's going to continue his work, so she takes. This is the point where she decides she's going to clean up the basement.
That's right.
Yeah,
Well, this
and
is
so
when she
that's-
goes and the madam and Amanda have a chat, and Amanda
Now
is.
she's a madam.
Well, I just call her that because I'm the old lady.
No, I like that.
Mrs. Prince.
Madam
She's
of the house.
madam of the
That
house.
is, she's
So,
the Iron Madam.
They have a chat, and basically Amanda is saying like, "Oh, this girl, blah blah blah, screw her. She shouldn't be here. Why is she even here? Why did you let her in here?" And she's like, "Don't worry about she." So the madam's like, "Fine. Tell you what, I have a job for you. Let's clean up the basement. We'll put her down there. We'll get her out of the way." So then they tell her, she's like, "Yeah, she's all for it, of course, because that's where she wants to
I
be."
totally had it wrong. Yeah.
And they do that. The whole school bands together and cleans it by slapping towels at it.
Oh my god!
They're all just like slapping towels.
The
at
way
it.
they decide that they're going to dust something is to slap towels
Yeah.
against cobwebs. It's fucking hilarious. Or kind of rub at the pentagram to clean it off.
Yeah, and on the neck, they rub it all nice and pretty. And then the next speaking line is the mouth, and he's like, "I've never done a restoration before." You don't say.
You still haven't.
Yeah, it's like,
So-
you clean some dust.
He repainted the Cellar Dweller cover
Yeah.
on the front of the...
Yeah, so they restore it back.
yeah, exactly.
They got rid of all the non-fire damage that should have been there.
Yes.
And now she's down there, and we find out that Amanda is following her and filming her.
Well, that's weird. Yeah, so
She's sitting down in her studio now. She's in her space, and she gets to like continue her work.
Right.
Childers' work.
Childress, yeah.
Childers, and so she's drawing. She's down there drawing, and it's obviously the Cellar Dweller comics that she's drawing. And Amanda's filming the whole thing, getting close-up shots of her work.
Right.
Then she goes up to her room and copies by looking at what she filmed. She copies the art and has it on her. And then she stands in front of the camera and starts talking about how Whitney plagiarized. She's doing plagiarism. So she's trying to get her kicked out of school, basically.
Basically, she's making it look like that she stole her drawings.
But Whitney seems to be inadvertently one step ahead of her. She doesn't realize at this point what power she has, but she starts drawing the Cellar Dweller attacking Amanda.
Yeah, we're just a nondescript woman, but basically she's working out all...
Well, no, there's a camera.
Oh, no, yeah,
she
it's
draws the
definitely her.
exact
Oh, you're right.
scene
Yeah.
that happens, but she doesn't know that
She's
it's
working
happening.
out her frustrations through the medium of graphic novels.
Graphic
This is
novel.
probably the best scene
Yeah.
in the movie because one of the ways that this Amanda girl ends up getting mauled by the monsters because she draws a banana peel
Oh,
for her to trip on.
oh my god, yeah. So the creature appears. She basically engages the power of the Cellar Dweller by writing those runes on her page. And then
So she
basically from
starts it all up.
Anything that point forward that she draws will happen.
And it's funny because by scenes like the banana peel appearing and everything, it's showing us, the audience, that her drawings are happening in real time.
Yeah.
But this is where it starts, where she's able to like start an eye. You can see just a little bit of an eye. It'll cut to scene. The Cellar Dweller's there. It comes back. It's fully inked in and done.
Yeah.
And she's still drawing. A huge intricate drawing.
Yeah.
In 4 seconds or less.
Doing the shading and
Yeah.
everything.
So
Well,
she
and
can
it does
literally
this
tell.
amazing thing where
She
she
can.
like she
She's
draws
like Jerry
something
O'Connell.
Yeah.
like the banana peel, and then suddenly boing,
Yeah, it's-
appears with a sound effect.
Yeah.
Or as
With
the woman's
the star from like an infomercial. It's like, look, and there it is. It's
Or-
magic.
that woman goes to reach for the doorknob,
And then the doorknob.
It's gone.
and it's just, she drives it missing, and boom.
And this is the
gone.
first time it happens, and we thought it was just a cool stylistic choice, but really just to save on money, they show the creature disemboweling her and killing her
Through art.
through the comics, so they don't have to film any of that stuff.
Yeah.
They're not afraid to show the monster. They show it right away, just like when we watch Pumpkinhead, one of the test episodes. They show the monster right away. It's good, but for these scenes, all they show is
The monster's one thing. It's just there.
yeah, he's there. He's got blood on his face, and he's chewing on things, and then all the action is happening through comic panels.
Right.
Interesting, but kind of lazy.
So it mauls her
Yeah.
and kills her and
Yes.
is eating her, crunch, crunch. And it always says something cheeky at the end, like, who's next?
Oh yeah,
Or whatever.
He doesn't say anything, but the comics always do.
The comic
Always
says who's
grammatically
next.
incorrect too, because there's no question marks. It's just who's next.
Yeah.
That's the main point.
And then it cycles through a drawing of each person in the house. Like it goes this person that's just drawing their face.
So she's
busted in a drawing.
she's on amphetamines and she's just
She's
fucking
going nuts, and she can draw a full picture in 4 seconds or less. Like she is just killing novels by the minute.
She must be a champion masturbator.
Oh, can you imagine? Yeah,
Just
wearing shit
rubbing
off.
them out.
Yeah.
So the next morning at breakfast, where's Amanda? I don't know. Saw her last night. And we glossed over this. The creepy detective.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Weirdo dude
Yeah, the
was
outfit.
standing at the top of the stairs listening to Amanda and Whitney have a little battle down in the cellar about, oh, you're gonna go down for this, I hate you, get out of here, fuck you, whatever. And he's taking bullet notes. So as soon as Amanda's missing, his instincts get fired up and he's like, oh, I'm gonna solve this case because this is what I want to be.
Yeah.
So late in life.
It's strange. Isn't he using it for research too?
I think he's just trying to play out
just
his
an art
character.
detective.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's an art detective, so he's like, ooh.
He's an
That
art
means-
detective. Roger Strike, art detective.
Veronica Slash.
Veronica Slash.
So he goes poking around. Of course, he goes down to the cellar and he sees drawings of Amanda's death in comics. He's like, oh,
Right.
this is weird. And he's like, I listened to them before. I know that they had, I think she did it. I think
Yeah.
the main character,
Should've
Whitney, I
got
think
it.
she did it. So he takes the comic strip up to Amanda's room to poke around some more. And as soon as he gets up there, all of a sudden there's a bunch of cells drawn of him getting killed. So
Yeah,
somehow the
and
main
the
character...
best
Is she drawing those, or is
Nope.
were the
Nope,
monsters
they just-
the monsters drawing
they just
themselves?
appear.
Yeah, they just start. Yeah, they do have that weird little circle graphic, and then
you guys?
it appears.
So scary. So white.
And how does he die?
That's just the best death, where he's sitting there, he sees the creature, and the creature swipes him with his claw.
Clean swipe.
And his head
Whack.
goes flying off, hits the side of the wall, and all sorts of guts start getting pushed up through his
Yeah,
neck.
and then commences eating him like it always.
Yeah, the same scenes of the
Like
monster
you do.
going, "Rah, rah, rah."
Like
you do.
Yeah.
That's how monsters
when you
do.
rip someone's
So
The surprising thing is that there's never any bodies or blood or
No,
gore.
exactly. There's
Or
never a
veins.
crime scene. It's just everything.
Oh yeah, they even go up to Amanda's room to look for, and they
There's
notice
no
that
blood.
There's no blood,
Maybe none of them
and it
existed
ripped
in
her
the first
and
place, except
disemboweled her.
Maybe this is all her
Imagination.
hallucination.
They
Did this
Because
movie
she's
not
actually
happen? We should've
schizophrenic
wa-
and she's in
yeah.
an insane asylum.
We should have watched it to the end of
And-
the credits.
and
There's
it's
probably
hanging
another
off of a
scene where
collar
she's sitting in
of
an
a
insane
cat.
asylum, all straight jacket up.
Like
Cellar Dweller.
just reading it.
Yeah.
Well, they did have that scene also when I think it was when the guy or Amanda, one of the two died. They just chucked buckets of blood at the walls.
Oh yeah, that was very odd.
And then all of a sudden it's just gone. It's just
There's
not
some
there.
strange, I think, inept choices that could be misconstrued as artful choices in this movie, like the blood and the cut and the editing of the movie.
Like
and whatnot.
making the movie.
Like making the movie, painting in
decision
broad
to do this
strokes.
in the
Yeah.
first place.
So we've had our 2 deaths. Have they just figured out what's going on yet?
Well,
Well,
the guy kind of figured something out and then died.
Which
First,
guy? Mouthface?
oh yeah.
No, not
But then
Mouth.
Whitney thinks that she sees her drawings are gone, and she thinks that Amanda's stolen them. Remember? Like, she comes down and she realizes her drawings
Oh,
are gone.
yeah, right.
And
Well,
she thinks Amanda's
exactly.
stolen them. So then she goes, for some reason, she goes to Detective Guy's room and finds her drawings in his room.
Yeah.
Because he's already been killed.
Yes, that's right.
And so then she's like, oh, he must have been in on it. He must have given them to her. And so she goes to confront
Well,
the old lady
No,
about
didn't
it.
the drawing she found in his room was a drawing of the dancer girl
Oh shit.
dying, and this is like in between all of this. So like he dies,
Oh, yeah.
and then they cut to the art studio again, or like the gallery, where a dancer girl is doing her crazy dance routine.
Okay, yeah. This is the part. So she's doing this dance where she's dancing with dolls and she's
Yeah.
taking
And
knives.
knives and balloons.
Stabbing a balloon.
Oh, this
yeah.
is the best.
And,
And the
at
balloons have a name written on them.
Yeah, and at the point where I'm like, I'm not sure if this is parody or not, she grabs the baby, drops it, and says, "Death is sad," or
Yeah.
something
Yeah,
like
and
that.
it's like in a valley girl, like death
She's,
is sad.
she's dressed up like an 80s aerobics teacher.
Yeah.
Or something with like glitter on
Oh
her
yeah,
face.
she looks like
and-
one of the misfits from Gem. She's got stars drawn
Yeah.
on her face.
It's
If
so
this
weird.
isn't parody, this is the most brilliant art I've ever seen in my life.
Death is so
There's
sad.
One way or another.
no awareness.
I think we need to have a segment
whatsoever.
here on like Shandy's art segment. What does Shandy have to say about this?
I have nothing to say about this. I said it.
So yeah, that scene happens.
Oh my God.
I don't even really know why.
I don't know
It doesn't
why either.
add to the story.
This
It's
movie
like-
is only 70 minutes long, and still.
It's still they have a knack for
So
making
really,
a
it
short
felt
movie
so
scene.
much
I know
longer.
there's a lot. There's a lot
Yeah.
of filler.
Okay, so she does that, and then I
This
can't
one's
remember how it
filler.
segues into her death. From her dancing on stage.
She was in a shower.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
It cut to some other crap that I don't quite remember, and then you're right. She's in the shower and she hears something.
At the same time that the shower's going on and what have you, that's when she realizes that her drawings are causing the killings. And then she looks down and she sees that she's drawn someone getting killed in the shower. She's like, "Oh shit!"
Her drawings are.
So they run to Ditz's room. I can't remember Lisa's room, and they can't get in. And then Mouth tries to break it open like a man. He's like, "Here, I got this." Crunch! Ow!
Yeah,
He falls
this is one of
down.
my
He
favorite
couldn't get.
moments.
So then she kicks it open. Just one swift, boom, open. So they get in, and of course she's dead. And there is the Dweller.
Dweller from the cellar.
He's out of the cellar.
The Dweller from the cellar. He's out of the cellar.
Out of the cellar and out of the cells.
Yes. Oh my god.
And he comes after her, but she narrowly escapes, didn't she? And she gets like a gash on her forehead or something. I don't know. We did tune out again there.
It's so hard to stay.
So
aware
she
for
gets
all
away
these.
though. She doesn't die, and this is where she realizes what's going on. So she runs to the madam of the house and tries to
You
frantically
just
tell
turned
her.
this art school into a brothel. You realize, right?
Pretty much is.
You just did a while
Well,
ago.
I mean,
runs
what
the
art
Miss
school
Kitty.
isn't a brothel?
Hi-yo!
And she tells, she's like, "Oh, calm down." And of course, she gets the same answer: "Comic books are stupid. You don't know what you're talking about."
Am I right? Yeah. Comic books are stupid.
Yeah, you're just crazy. Go back to your cellar. I don't know, something like that.
Mm-hmm. Now that you mentioned it, Shandy, I do think that this was by someone who was shirked or irked at art school, and this is them writing out all the rage against those people.
What is that?
It's an airplane.
That was an airplane going over. Yeah.
It is a
No,
bird.
they can't hear it on there, but now they can hear us talking about it.
So, yeah. Anyways, what happens after this? Oh, the madam transforms.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So Miss Kitty transforms into the Dweller from the but going through some changes.
And
We see it happen.
a transformation scene that probably cost a lot of money.
So then they draw it on the
$50
comic.
at least.
Yeah. So she runs back to her room.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The aforementioned cellar.
Yeah. I'm running back to the cellar where the Dweller should be.
Mm-hmm. Sounds like a Seuss.
Yeah, no,
the cellar where the Dweller should be. And she decides. What does she figure out? That they're going to...
Well, doesn't she go down there? Oh no, she fights the Dweller just turn in the hallway. It was drawn on a cell. It shows the cell. All of a sudden, the Cellar Dweller is in the hallway.
Right.
So she's running away, and all of a sudden, boom, right into his arms in the hallway.
Right.
Just appears there.
Mm-hmm.
She gets away again. She does make her way to the cellar where she's battling all the way down, like scream, fall down, scream, and knocks over some whiteout onto the cell.
It's not whiteout, it's white off.
It's white off.
Yeah, and it looks like ejaculate. Can we just be real here?
Yeah.
Like, it's sprayed all over and he's all like,
Oh, and then he kind of backs off, or does he disappear? Or something?
No, she throws more of...
Yeah, she just dumps more. Oh, the hand comes out of the drawing.
Yeah,
It's
she
like
throws them all on there.
So she spills it all,
Yeah,
like
it's just covered in money
an
shots.
exorcism with white off.
Yeah, and then that is the end of the movie, we think.
Well, then she has to draw people back. She's all sad and freaked out that people are all
Mouth face
dead.
is
Crying.
And
so.
what happened to Mouth? Did he die?
I don't know. I don't remember that.
Because she draws him back.
I don't remember him dying.
And then he comes out. He just comes out of nowhere. He's like,
Well, and he
you
changed
owe
the
me a
beast.
kiss.
He changed the beast, right? Mouth comes back and the beast.
Well, that's what
is
she
changed.
drew. She drew Mouth back with the beast in shackles,
Yeah.
and he shows up, and she's like, "Wait, I do have the power to bring them back, yay!" And he's like, "You owe me a kiss." And
Yeah.
She drew that she was in his arms. It's
Yeah, so
weirdest.
she draws the rest of the cast, very small cast, 6 people.
At the couch all
on the
together,
couch, and they're
having a
all there.
conversation, yeah.
And then, so...
Her and Mouth go up and check it out, and they're like, "Yeah, they're back."
Yeah.
Awesome. So they go down to the
Have a
cellar.
brilliant plan.
Yeah, they've got it figured out. It must be over. Everything's happily ever after. But the Dweller is still in the cellar.
How many of those are we going to get?
Erroneously.
So they have to go down and still deal with that.
Yeah.
Let's just
Cellar
go
Dweller.
deal with this one last thing.
Yeah.
This Dweller in the cellar. And then it'll be all fine. So they
Wait,
go down
where
there
do they have to go though?
to the
Find
cellar.
Dweller?
Yeah, and what are they going to find there?
A Dweller.
Interesting.
So they get down there and they're like, okay, what's their plan? They're gonna burn it again? Like she's going fire
She's
route.
gonna burn
This
the
is the
pages.
brilliant plan. Let's
In the
burn,
wastebasket.
Let's burn all the pictures of the people I
don't-
just drew back into existence.
I don't think she had a choice in that. I think it just kind of
You've got to burn the cellar to
They
kill the Dweller.
yeah. They magic there.
Oh,
So
they
she-
magic.
Yeah, so she burns.
Are we verbing magic?
We are. She
In the cellar, she burns the Dweller.
Yeah.
And appears all of the rest of the cast, other than her.
Was that a mini poem?
poem.
What the fuck just happened?
Haiku, get that. So, anyways, they're all burning, and all of a sudden, Mouth is like, "Wait, what? Oh, I got a suntan. Holy shit! It's not stopping. I feel
Mouth's on fire.
He's on fire, and she starts freaking out, like, "Oh my god!" And then people, it shows them in their house or their room, wherever they are, start bursting into flames all over the house, and she can hear them screaming, and she's like, "Ah!" So
It's been a long day.
Then what happens is they're all just gone. There's no evidence. There's no ashes. There's no blood. There's nothing. They're gone. She just like kind of has the holy shit.
And then
hands and
we see that another drawing of the dweller from the aforementioned cellar.
I do believe it's still in the cellar.
Yes.
That said dweller.
Yeah, the cellar. That said dweller's in that cellar. Yeah.
On the strip.
Yeah. Yes, that's right.
It's no longer in form, but
and
it's
it says,
still.
wherever there's imagination,
I will be,
or I will live,
yeah,
or something like that. And then we see the creatures right there looking at her, and we do the classic, her screaming, and then it goes to black.
Well, wherever there's imagination and cellars.
And cellars,
It's
yeah.
really what it's...
Yeah. And then it says, right before the cast comes, a good cast is worth repeating.
So don't watch this movie again?
Yes, there is only 6 people, and then it goes on to the crew.
I think this is 8 or 9. Yeah, whatever. It's a very small cast.
It's a very small cast, very tight. It feels like a play. So, that's it. Cellar Dweller. We did it. Yeah.
That was a really quick run through. That was
good. Well, it's only, like I said, 70 minutes.
Yeah.
Favorite moments? I like the decapitation scene was pretty good.
Banana peel.
Banana peel was pretty fun.
I think I'm gonna
the
have to
art
go.
dance. The art
Art dance was pretty
I'm
good.
sorry.
Baby.
Death is sad.
Death is
sad.
I'm gonna go with.
Instead of dropping the mic,
it's
she drops
angst.
the baby.
Yeah.
It's
angst.
Yeah, there's a lot of
And
really...
the angst drawing makes appearances throughout. Every time there's a cellar shot,
Yeah.
the angst is
See
hanging.
angst.
Oh yeah, it's a very strange, terrible movie that we have a lot of things we liked about it.
It isn't the worst movie
No,
that
it's
we
definitely,
watched.
it's definitely
No,
refreshing
it's
from
pretty
last
campy.
week.
Of
This
the
one will
bad
stay in the
movies,
memory
it was
banks.
one of the better bad.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, so the special effects were good, like the monster looked good. I thought,
They had moments where you could tell that's where they dumped the budget.
yeah, the music was
Wasn't
pretty-
on the cast.
Yeah, the music was pretty weird.
Yeah, really
It was
weird.
always thunder and lightning in the background.
Oh, God.
All the time. Didn't matter where they were. Even if there was a window, there was lightning. It was great. So I would give this a rating. What would you rate this out of? Cellars. How many cellars?
How many cellars?
How many dwellers and cellars?
How many dwellers in the cellar would you give this? Let's start with Janine.
I would give this a solid 3 dwellers.
3 dwellers in the said cellar?
I didn't think it was the worst. I wouldn't watch it again. But there were moments that I found enjoyable, and I really actually find I enjoy discussing it. So, I mean, a truly bad movie, you're just like, ugh.
Yeah. Some of them have been quite painful.
Yeah.
Like Frightmare, for
Yeah.
example.
Oh,
Dear God. Okay, how many cellars do we need to fill with dwellers for
How
this
many
rating?
ever you need?
However you need. You know, I'm going to leave it up
So-
to you. What measure of unit you're going to use for
okay.
said dwellers in the
So I
cellar?
gave it 3 out of 5.
3 out of 5.
Okay.
it is,
Solid
yeah.
in the middle.
So
I'm going to give it 6 dwellers in 3 cellars.
Oh, so
They're all sharing. They're doubled up.
So is that, what is that, like?
Yeah, what you mean?
It's whatever you.
it's an irrational number.
It's Jake's art project.
I did
Whatever
like
you
you're right.
think
There
it
was a
is.
lot of cool stuff that for a bad movie I would watch this again if that was the theme of the night. If we were gonna watch some crappy,
And it's quick.
it's quick, sort of.
Sort of.
entirely.
Some of the scenes that make you wonder, wow, that-
tedious, but it is only
the credits at the beginning went on
Funny?
forever.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 3 because again, we have plumbed the depths of shit.
Yep.
And in the grand scheme of things, the plot was easy to understand. Clear start to finish. Very predictable arc, which sometimes is nice. Sometimes you're like, okay, clearly this is where this is going.
Yeah, I can zone out and still stay tuned.
Yeah, and also just in terms of actual quality, you could see what was happening. I got this very nostalgic kind of feeling with the Cellar Dweller because he kind of reminded me of
Yourself as a
Trolls.
teenager?
Get the big pentagram carved in
Big
there.
diagram carved into my chest.
No, it reminds you of what?
It reminded me of the trolls from Ernest Scared Stupid.
Oh yeah,
And
that
I
was a
have
good
my
one.
brother is 7 years younger than me, and I was born in '82, so we watched a lot of the Ernest movies, and we watched that one a lot on VHS, and the monsters are very similar, so there was that weird nostalgia feeling. So yeah,
cool.
3 out of 5 Cellar Dwellers.
Shandy.
I will also give it 3 out of 5.
Anything to say?
In comparison to the other movies we've watched, but I would just like to point out that the fact that Bunny is talking about it just having a story arc and like making sense as our criteria is
The bar's low is what you're saying?
Yeah. But by that bar, I will give it 3 out of 5.
Okay.
But that's just it. Like we've seen so much shit.
Yeah.
So much shit.
Things that you should not watch. We've watched
Wings,
a lot of.
Hauser, Wings was not in this one. So,
Jeffrey was barely in this
Yeah.
one.
but we had the same size of mouth as he has chin.
we had
There was
mouth.
equal.
Yeah, we had mouth
Yeah,
face.
there
Massive
was
body
face
part.
instead of chin faces.
Yeah, I'd also give it a 3 all around. Same thing you guys said. It was okay and quick. So how Jeffrey is Jeffrey in this? 1 Frightmare, 10 From Beyond. He's barely in this fucking movie.
He's barely in it, but he's full Jeffrey.
yeah.
Oh, I didn't see much chin going on.
No, he.
Oh, is that what we're measuring?
Yeah, and it didn't have
Mouth
any.
acting, apparently.
It didn't have any
Judge it
real
any way you
close-ups
want.
of the unibrow.
No, I barely saw any scowling.
Fair. I guess I'm judging him on he's just the horror king.
It's true, he is. I think we project a lot of stuff onto
He's in a
OMG.
fucking cellar.
Yeah, he is. He
That's
is.
pretty
He's in a fucking
Jeffrey.
cellar. That is pretty Jeffrey.
I didn't think he was very Jeffrey. He was very good in his brief moment. He was very serious. Like,
Yeah.
I almost didn't recognize him at first.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say. Yeah,
I would give him 4 out of 10
yeah,
Jeffreys.
4 out of 10, 5 out of 10, average Jeffrey. Yeah.
Average
I'm
Jeffrey.
slightly below
We
average
kept thinking,
Jeffrey.
oh, maybe he'll come back in the end, like Cyclone.
Thought they may draw him back
we thought
in,
he'd be
yeah.
back in, like he was inside the motorcycle, like Bunny was hoping for. But no, he never came back. And there we go.
Dead is
All right.
dead in this
Yeah, so
movie.
there's no real trivia on this thing. It was put out.
Well, other than the madam
Oh yes, from the
from
Munsters.
Vancouver.
This
She
yeah,
was in the Munsters.
Yeah, this
Yay.
thing was
The dominatrix.
The dominant, yeah.
Very
There's all
hard.
leather under there. They didn't have vinyl then, did they?
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was all.
It was just grosser.
This was very hard to find. They released a VHS only copy on Amazon in, I don't know, 2001, and that's what I managed to find. But yeah, it was a shit copy. It's not a big seller. I know I keep...
It's not a
Cellar
big
Dweller!
big seller.
Woo! Got there organically!
It's a big dweller. It's a small cellar.
So just dwells on the shelves, this Cellar Dweller that won't sell.
And on that note,
What should we do with this cellar dweller? Cellar.
Yeah. Boom!
All right, let's go watch
Cellar
this
or
piece of
cellar?
shit.
Okay, so now there's no IMDb questions, there's no trivia, so we're gonna take a pause. We're gonna go watch what's called The Evil Clergyman.
Yeah, it's
directed
like
by
30
Charles
minutes.
Band. Yeah, 30 minutes. We'll come back, we'll talk about that one, and then we'll give our movie recommendations. Okay?
Sounds good. All right, let's do this. Yay! We're back.
Okay,
this
so
whole
we're back.
thing isn't real.
That was a soothing balm, my
Yes.
friends. That movie, that vignette was delightful.
Yes. Half hour, little bit of a
Yeah.
three-parter that was called Pulse Pounders. We watched The Evil Clergyman, directed by
My
Charles
pulse was
Band.
pounded.
Does anyone recognize that name, Charles Band?
Nope.
Nope.
Full Moon Entertainment, Full Moon Pictures.
Nope.
How about the movies Puppet Master? Do you ever see those? Yeah, Puppet Master. What were they called? Not scanners. I can't remember.
Screamers?
No. I can't remember. But
Laughers?
They did. Yeah, it was probably Laughers. I hate you guys. Subspecies.
We're helpful.
Yeah, that was so
like,
close. You almost had it.
No, Full Moon Entertainment put out a
Up
shit ton of horror movies in the 80s and the 90s, and we used to always rent them. It was great because they had at least 5 minutes at the beginning of trailers for their other movies, and my brother and I used to love watching horror trailers. But before he formed Full Moon, Charles Band was part of Empire Pictures, and they released
Empire Records.
Empire Records, yes, starring Luke Tyler. They released Reanimator, which we watched. They produced and released that one, and they also did Ghoulies. You guys ever seen Ghoulies?
Yes, I have.
If you haven't seen Ghoulies, you've definitely seen the cover because it's a toilet,
toilet one.
and it's a little green sort of ghoulie guy, and it says "They'll get you in the end."
Yeah.
It's a terrible movie, but it's got one of those great covers that'll live on forever.
Will it with the death of the video store?
Yeah.
No, you're right. I didn't think that through.
It's
You're right.
probably gonna
Thanks
die.
for calling me on my shit.
No, but there's the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah, but
okay.
it's a select few that will see it now. It won't
Transport
be.
yourself back to. Oh,
1987?
yeah, let's do 1987. You're picking a movie on a Friday night, and you take that time to look at each cover. And there's those covers that you see over and over again, but you never get. Like all the ones that are like the 80s are basically
Bedroom
looking,
eyes.
looking through women's
Cat's eyes,
legs
yeah.
at what is happening in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Black
that's just-
Roses was the one I had.
Or any Freddy movie.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we had no way of knowing
Hockey
really seeing
mask
if they were
Jason.
shitty or not, so we had to go by the cover alone.
Yeah.
Those days are gone.
Yeah.
The world I grew up in is gone.
Has done changed.
Yeah. So then we watched. Okay, so there's a little bit of backstory about this that was at the beginning of the movie. They filmed this in 1988 as a part of an anthology. It was supposed to be this one and 2 other ones that were sequels to old full moon properties, like what the fuck they were called? Not subspecies, Trancers.
Yeah.
And Dungeon Master was the other one.
Oh, okay.
But while they were filming it, 25 millimeter, I think, I can't
30,
remember.
32?
I'm
or
terrible with that shit. But they
35?
lost the negatives.
Yeah.
And there was no way of it to find it. Then 20 some years later, somebody found a VHS copy of it, and they
So they had already put it on together?
I don't know.
And then lost the negatives and
not-
forgot about the
it's
VHS?
not particularly clear, but basically what they're working with is a VHS version that they added and tried to clean up
Yeah.
the picture and the sound of it.
Yeah.
And we're left with this 30-minute thing. It looks kind of shitty. It looks really shitty, actually, even though they cleaned it up, but what have you. So, it's a small thing. H.P. Lovecraft, so we have to start in a castle.
Oh, this is an H.P. Lovecraft story. Oh, that
That
makes
makes
so
so
much
sense.
weird monsters. And
So we start with the lovely Barbara Crampton.
Yeah.
We know from
Miss
Reanimator
Crampton.
and from Beyond. We've seen most of her in most of these movies. She's got a great body.
Oh, we were talking about
a great
bet?
body of work. Yes. We had a bet when we started this that we would.
Several bets.
We would see Crampton's
What were the bets? Like
Naked
Well, we all
Yeah.
just said how we think we would
So I
see
thought
her.
it was going to be a butt in the moonlight.
Yeah.
Janine thought it was going to be breasts through a sheer sort of nighty negligee. Jake, what did you say?
I said wet soapy boobs out of the shower.
Shower, nice
And
one.
I said side boob through 80s lingerie.
And what did you say, Dad? Janine?
I said it was only 30 minutes. Maybe we wouldn't see
Oh,
any.
yes,
so.
yes. So that was our initial bet. What part of Ms. Crampton are we going to see? So it starts with her. She meets this old landlady who she's basically looking for her lover. Like
Yeah.
her lover has disappeared, and she's gone to this creepy castle, which was the last place that he
His last
lived,
known
stayed-
whereabouts.
Yeah, where he disappeared from. The old landlady gives us the standard H.P. Lovecraft backstories, like all sorts of heard strange noises and rats on the walls and all sorts of stuff like that. But Barbara
And I
Crampton-
used to be prettier than you.
yeah, yes, I used to be prettier than you, something like that.
The crone and the maiden.
Yeah.
Or the whore, whatever.
Yeah,
Same shit.
a lot of foreboding and what have you. So they give that. What happens next?
Next, she
Oh, well, she shows her to her room.
Yeah,
And
the-
no.
The
Oh, sorry.
beauty of this, or I was just gonna say, yeah, she shows her to the room. That's the next step. And then, what I really liked about this is that viewers or listeners, I guess, the rest of this happens in the room. The whole thing takes place
But
in this
it's
room.
not like the room.
no. Do you
No.
think that was a stylistic choice, or we have no money?
I think it's all they had to go with. It's like,
I think
yeah.
it was stylistic.
Maybe.
Because, one, it's 30 minutes. You're not gonna have a lot of set changes.
Yeah.
And,
It did feel like a play a little bit, didn't it? So do the other ones too, with the limited cast.
yeah, I mean, I don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves, but part of, especially now that I know that it's H.P. Lovecraft, it makes even more sense because just like having the tension of being in a room, and I think we'll talk more about it once we talk about what actually is happening.
Yeah, so she gets in the room and she starts pining for
Jeffrey, and like, yeah, she's standing against the wall. We were saying it looks like a Bon Jovi music video.
It totally
She's
does.
right up against the wall,
Yeah.
looking all good with her hair and whatnot, and doing the whole.
Yeah,
Like when she's making love to that scarf,
she's definitely making love to us.
pining for Jeffrey, and he shows up in a dark corner in the room. He's like, "Hello, blah blah."
his
They have some
priest
banter.
garb.
Yeah, he's wearing a priest scarf.
Yeah, he's wearing
And
his
he is so
clergy.
Jeffrey.
He's
Yeah.
part of the clergy.
So her lover was a fallen priest or what have you. Yeah,
And
he's
then
looking-
he seems to appear like right there with her, and they get down jiggy with
They
it.
have the sex.
She,
Yeah.
Well,
Is it
let's
happening
not
right
like skim over this. Let's not skim over this because it's good. It's
No,
good.
it's not that good.
It's
I don't know
not
what you
that
guys
good.
are talking
We can
about.
wait
Yeah.
for
See lots
this.
of like
It's because
boob
Bunny
rubbing
wants
Okay,
in the
but we
front,
can't
turns
gloss over
around
this.
and he's not there, and
There's one main point that we definitely cannot gloss over is like pretty much right after that when they start getting down, what happens? He takes only his shirt off, so you get to see hairy Jeffrey chest.
Still no Jeffrey ass.
No ass, no balls, or no nothing.
What if
other-
they just showed his balls?
Just balls. So, but they do their thing. It was kind of weird. The bed was rocking at a different rhythm from them. It was like, so I don't know what was really going on. Someone on the other side shaking the bed.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So there's that going. And then the next, right after, it's like she wakes up, and what do we see? Her ass in the moonlight.
Yeah.
Ass in the moonlight.
Ass in the moonlight. We have a winner, folks.
Yeah.
Ass in the moonlight.
Ass in the
right
moonlight.
away.
But with that ass in the moonlight, we see a horrifying rat creature with a man's face, like touching her ass or something like
it's
that.
He's
actually
right up by the
horrifying.
bed. Yeah, and it's pretty creepy.
What's horrifying about it?
Everything. It's small. It has a person's face.
Yeah, they
It's
shoot
about
with
the
the forced
size of a
perspective.
cat. Like the way the perspective is. It's like a small cat.
Like a beaver.
It's creepy.
And the
Beavers
guy-
are big. They're like 25 pounds.
Yeah, and the guy who is in
My
the
mom's
rat
cat is
costume
25 pounds.
is David Gale, and David Gale was the creepy doctor from Reanimator. The guy got his head cut off and tried to go down on Barbara Crampton.
Do you think
So
all these people,
he has a sort of a tradition of perving on Ms. Crampton. What were
do
you
you
saying?
think all of these people have had like group sex at some previous point and then just decided to make like movies together?
You've been reading my diary, haven't you?
You say diary, I say fanfic.
So she wakes up and he's not there.
Yeah.
And
She's
the bed
looking
is
for him.
smaller. The bed is like
The bed is much smaller. It looks
half
like it
the
anyway. Yeah.
size. It
It
goes
looks-
from a double to a single. It's disconcerting.
So she's, where are you? Where? And then we have the rat face appear, and she creeps out and freaks out, and then all of a sudden this other clergyman, an older man, shows up.
David Werner.
Yeah, over by the window.
I
with the
always
light.
know him from Tron. I can't remember what else he's been in.
He's so comforting.
And he,
Quest of the Delta Knights of Mr. Sunsuiter.
yeah, he basically explains to her, your lover is a piece of shit.
Evil. He takes
I've
people's...
seen him do some
yeah.
crazy shit.
He takes people's souls. He has a little familiar, the beast with a human face, or
Yeah.
something like that.
The last woman that he loved, or not loved, but the last woman that he corrupted ended up in an insane asylum where she eventually killed herself in the
Another one in a bathtub.
Yeah.
full of
Or in
blood.
another one, yeah. So he's got a
He's got a
history of-
track record of
Yeah.
killing and being this asshole.
And
Yeah.
she's totally not. She's like, no.
Asshole-y,
Yeah.
sort of murderous.
Does it go beyond asshole?
And then, yeah, he even proves it by, he's like, oh,
Assholiness.
look what he did to me. He killed me, and he shows the beautiful makeup on the side of his broken open
Yeah, and
skull.
then we realize this guy is actually dead.
And that, yeah, that's when the whole thing is like, oh, but, and she's calling for him. He says, oh, he won't ever show his face while I'm in the room. And it's like, she's not really believing him, but, so he takes off.
so
He just takes off.
Why?
He disappears,
Yeah.
but Jeffrey's now in the bed again.
Doesn't she turns to go towards the door,
Well,
right?
she gets dressed.
Yeah.
She turns and
Yeah.
she gets dressed.
And then he's gone.
And he's gone. And then Jeffrey's in the bed, and she, where were you? How could you leave me like that? And he's
Yeah.
like, baby, I was here the whole time. You should wake me when you're dreaming like that. Blah,
Yeah,
blah.
yeah.
Tries to pawn it off on a dream. She's like,
As
no way,
predicted
no.
by Janine.
Yeah.
So then he goes on. Then he turns pretty much his kind of shitty evil side.
Yeah, and
comes
he's
out.
basically trying to goad her into committing suicide, right?
Right, well, he explains to her, like, she's like, where did you go, blah, blah, blah. So he finally, okay, well, the cat's out of the bag kind of thing. So he's like, I'm dead. This is what I did. I killed myself right up there on that beam. She's like, no, you did. And he's like, yes, I did. I did it just like this. He gets up,
shows
moves
it,
around,
yeah.
kills himself again, and she freaks out, and he's just
Yeah, and now
reappears
she
behind
freaks
her.
out.
Yeah.
Well, she
And
freaks out, and then the rat thing appears again.
rat thing comes back.
And then he says he'll make it go away if she'll kiss him. And,
Right, yeah.
And she's
Well,
like,
she
I can't
tries to
reach
leave.
you.
She tries to leave.
Yeah.
She's like, just let me leave. He's like, all I want is a kiss, but he's hanging from the
And she's like, I
noose when he
can't
says
reach
it.
you. And he says, well,
Yeah.
kiss me like you used
We're
to.
like, what does that mean? Oh, we find out in a second. He means suck my cock.
Yeah. Well, I'm hanging from this noose,
Yeah,
and
so-
you're being terrorized by a human-faced rat monster.
So she does the logical thing and gives him fellatio.
Yeah, you know what? Take notes here, ladies. This is how we like it.
So yeah, so she's doing that, and then the rat thing shows up,
Yeah.
right?
No,
And-
doesn't David Gale?
Yeah,
no,
David
sorry,
Gale, yeah.
David Werner shows up as
Comes
his
back,
blasphemer.
yeah. Right.
And then she starts beating the shit out of him.
Yeah, you
ruined
have-
it all.
you ruined everything.
I don't know. I don't get it.
No, she says he was gonna let me go.
Yes,
And
yeah, you ruined it.
And you showed up and pissed him off, and
And then she's beating on him, and then he disappears.
yeah, and the rat face shows back up.
Yep.
She crawls up on the chair, puts her head in the noose.
Yeah,
And
saying,
says, I hope this is real.
Yeah, this better be
hope this is
real.
real.
And then it's just her body twitch and she hangs herself. Mm-hmm. Then right after, so she's dead, hanging there, and Combs' character and the rat face have a conversation where he's like, "Look, this one I want her body. You can keep her soul, but for this one time, please just let me have the body."
Yeah.
And the rat face agrees as long as he kisses him.
Yeah.
Something to do with kiss.
Yeah, give me a kiss.
Super weird.
So Combs gives the rat face a kiss.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Thank you so much." And then he basically inhabits her body and walks on out.
Talk shit to the landlady.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it turns out
You
that
were
the,
never
like,
as pretty as me.
Yeah.
the rat is the soul stealer,
Correct.
and and Combs is kind of like his minion.
familiar.
Yeah.
I
I don't
think
know.
it turns out to the way I kind of read into it was the rat was the actual demon, like
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
was
the head honcho.
Like most Lovecraft, it's never really. You're never
what
really
it
sure.
seems. Yeah.
Well, yeah, like I totally got that he was sort of like a devil or a Beelzebub, right? And for whatever reason, probably because he's a fallen priest,
Yeah.
the rat has control over him, right? But he's not corporeal,
Yeah.
right? So he wanted the body of this woman. I was gonna say lover, but that word makes me gag a little bit. So yeah, that's more what
That
I
was it.
That's what I was reading.
And it ends, and that's it.
Yeah, she walks on out of there and
yeah,
Wow.
insults the old lady, and that's it. Yeah.
yeah. It was super fun.
No, and then the rat we see at the end is in the rat trap that the old lady has
right.
set.
Yeah. So the old lady was sitting in rat traps, and at the very end, you see the rat familiar
Dead.
thing. Yeah, the piece with the human face dying in a rat trap. I don't know what that's supposed to mean.
It makes you wonder what can happen to her body.
Does it make you wonder?
It makes me wonder.
It makes me
No, I was wondering, like
she's full Jeffrey'd.
Full
She's full Jeffrey.
Okay,
Full
so
Jeffrey.
did you guys enjoy
And
this movie?
sorry, what's her face does an excellent job, I thought, of being Jeffrey.
No,
Because
right.
Jeffrey's inhabiting her body on the way out, and even we noted. Somebody said that the mouth.
She's mouth acting.
She was mouth acting, so we're not the only ones that noticed.
Well, she's worked with them quite a bit.
Yeah.
You guys enjoy this movie? With this little video?
Yeah, it was
Totally.
good. It actually was good. It went from minute 1 to minute 0. Had a couple of moments where you're like, "What?" But they were good. You were still interested.
They were good. What the fucks?
Yeah.
You're like, what is happening?
I think
that-
I'm in the minority. I didn't really like this. I enjoyed watching it with you guys and making fun of it, but I thought it was disjointed and stupid.
Well, here's the thing that I thought afterwards. It's kind of like all of the
Well,
other
you're
movies that we watch that are Lovecraft based or whatever. But this is like, I'm assuming they're mostly short stories. I don't.
Yeah. This is a pretty short story. It's like 9 pages, I think, that this was based on.
But all these other movies take like 2 hours to do what this movie did in 30 minutes.
Fair
Like
enough.
when you take out all the shit that's in between the good parts, then you get this.
So you guys are down to economy of movies now.
Well, the level of
This
movie
needs
we're
to be
watching
more
needs to be
efficient.
30 minutes.
I liked
Yeah.
this movie up until about halfway through, and then I thought it went disjointed and weird. I thought it was really good and it had a solid plot, and then it kind of lost me.
I liked it because there was no shots of any refineries anywhere in it. It was just,
I freaking loved the soundtrack.
No
though.
angst.
Like I thought it had really dramatic soundtrack that really helped. set
Jeffrey
the
didn't
scene.
die. I mean, technically, like he maintained his role throughout
Yeah.
the piece, which was nice.
So I might as well move on. How Jeffrey is Jeffrey in this one?
Oh, 5
Jeffrey.
Jeffreys.
Jeffrey.
5 Jeffreys.
10
Absolutely.
Jeffreys.
Oh, 10 Jeffreys.
He's very Jeffrey.
Yeah, he's very.
He's so Jeffrey's so handsome.
Yeah, he's pretty handsome in this.
Yeah.
He's very like sexually aggressive too. It's just-
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
that.
The rickety
You see it.
old bed.
Where is this?
I'm adding that to the
going?
spank
He's got a
bank.
natural heat.
can feel the musk coming
All
through
right.
the video.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Oh, I was thinking of the rat and the musk.
Oh god.
It smells like a hamster cage.
Hey, it smells a little
Boner
bit
is
like
gone.
smells a little bit like shavings and
Yeah,
urine.
yeah. Lady Boner is gone.
Okay, so I guess we might as well move on to recommendations. Any movies to recommend?
Do we
You guys-
rate the movie though?
I don't
we have
care.
to?
It was like a 30.
Yeah.
You don't like it,
Yeah,
so
it was like
you
a
don't
30
care.
minute. Yeah, I'm not. Don't mean to shit on this movie, but I just.
But you're going
I
to.
didn't hate it.
But also, we did another movie already, so let's just keep this moving along.
Moving along.
Moving
yeah.
along.
Yeah, we're all about economy again. Any movie recommendations you guys have watched recently? Classic
we
horror
haven't
films.
really done any movies lately.
H.P. Lovecraft.
We've watched a lot of TV
anything like
crap.
that.
I just can't stop thinking about the fact that you haven't seen The Crying Game and that we should watch that. Has nothing whatsoever to do
No,
with
maybe
this
watch it. I
story.
sort of know the. I know what's up though. Does that matter? That I know what the twist is like finding out Bruce Willis is dead all along at the end of the
That's
Sixth Sense.
not
Thanks
the
for
twist.
spoiling it. 'cause I've
Oh
never
shit!
seen it.
Sorry, did I ruin that movie for you? So I
Wait a
guess I would
minute.
recommend In the Mouth of Madness, H.P. Lovecraft. I think is that John Carpenter?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Or Wes Craven. I don't. It's got Sam.
not Wes Craven.
It's got Sam Neill in it. It's great in a sort of shitty, stupid way. I like that movie quite a bit. Buddy?
What was
anything
that movie we watched the other night on Netflix?
The Colony?
The
no,
Colony.
I think we talked about. Did we talk about that already?
Did we? I don't know. The days all blur together. Come
Yeah.
back to me. I'll think about it.
Yeah, The Colony was okay.
Yeah, but I would recommend it over, say, the first movie we watched.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. So look, I've already forgotten the name of the movie that we watched today because it was just so forgettable.
Oh, Cellar Dweller.
Cellar Dwellers. How could I forget that?
Oh, no.
Down you went.
Baby go boom. We're good. Quick recovery.
All right.
Yeah.
Anything to recommend?
Well, I'm going to jump off the rails a bit. I played a board game that was based on H.P. Lovecraft. Check that out.
What's it called?
Eldritch Horror. It's a lot of fun.
How many people can play?
I think it's like 4 to 8 or something like that. You could probably get away with less than 4, but it's
How
a
long
co-op.
does it take? Is it a long slog like Risk?
It ran us. We played with 6 or 7 people, and it ran us 3 hours.
It's not bad.
Not bad.
But there was also we had a couple of newbies, so the learning curve was still there.
Yeah.
Getting used to it, so it takes more time to explain and all that crap. I think if you knew what you were doing, played it a couple times, you get through it in an hour and a half.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah.
All right, good recommendation. Janine, do you have anything?
I don't have a movie to recommend, but I just finished a book. I'm trying to look up the author right now. Just to continue with the off the rails thing. I just finished a book called The Wind Up Girl.
Oh, isn't that? Oh, I totally know that book. Yeah.
It's
Sanak or something?
I think
Sendak. So that's the guy who did the Where the Wild Things Are. No,
Yeah.
Written by Paulo Bagla. Paulo, I don't know. I've heard about that book. It's good though.
it's fantastic.
Yeah?
It's kind of set in like a dystopian future, post-apocalypse, but more
I like those
sci-fi than
kinds,
that, and it's fantastic. It's sort of set in like East Asia, Thailandy area, and in the world's like nothing is more valuable than calories. Like food calories basically have become currency because there have been all these blights introduced by corporations to destroy crops. So it's
Buying calories from them is the only way to go now.
pretty much, and I loved it. So looking for a good page turner with some interesting depth and fantastic writing. Want to take a break from some movie watching? I could not recommend it more.
And won a Nebula the Hugo Award.
It's fantastic.
Oh, great, fantastic.
Well, in that case, if we're gonna let's come back.
My turn again, Mimi.
Well, I didn't contribute. You jerk. Dune. I'm rereading Dune, and I'd forgotten just how amazing it was. It is amazing. Classic sci-fi, and I think the link to that would be, classic H.P. Lovecraft. Here's something else that's sort of older but still relevant. If you've never read Dune but you've seen the TV show, it's so much better than that.
That TV miniseries is pretty
Ignore
terrible.
the TV miniseries, and even although it's kind of an interesting little vignette, ignore the David Lynch movie as well. And yeah, great sci-fi.
Okay, well, I guess that just leaves us to close it all up. You could email us at finetoothpodcast@gmail.com. My name is Jamie. My voice sounds like this.
I'm Bunny. My voice sounds like this.
My name is Jake. My voice sounds like this.
And Janine, my voice sounds like this.
And Shandy's over there.
And that's what the babies sound like.
Good night.